All right, we left off our poor website looking like this. Maybe sometimes you open up a website and it looks crazy like this, just plain, with that blue link writing. What's happened is that the HTML has loaded, but the CSS hasn't yet. And maybe you have to reload the page and then it looks normal, or maybe it just flashes like this for just a moment, and then the regular, then all of a sudden it looks regular. What's happened is that CSS has loaded. Oh, I didn't introduce myself. This is Lee with learningwithlee.com. And we are in the middle of a how-to website project. Step 1 was organizing, setting up. Step 2 was the structure, putting the HTML, and this is step 3, which is the CSS. And there's a lot we still can't do, but we will do some work with the color and the text. And then we can just keep working on this as we learn more. So one thing I did do already is choose a color scheme. I used a website. You can Google up. I gave you some links. You can Google up websites that give suggestions. So I like this color scheme. So I'm going to use these colors. I'm going to take this as my background color instead of the red. So let's start with that. Okay, so background color. I'm going to change it to that. I'm going to use H1 and do font size. That's my heading. So I want that big. Color, I'm going to choose the blue color for that. Maybe font weight big for our title. Now we can say text align center. However, I'm going to take that out in a bit because we don't have all the tools we need to center the image, to center our buttons, for our links to jump down the page. So I'm going to take that out, but just put it there so you can remember that you can use that. H2 is a little smaller. Now there are defaults for all these font sizes. However, we want to be in control. We don't want our website to look different on every browser. Every browser can have their own defaults. We want to set it ourselves. In the next lesson, I will give you what we call a reset CSS that just sets everything to 0, gets rid of all the defaults so that there's not something that like if I say font size 2 for H1, it will set it to that. But maybe there's a default in there that I didn't happen to mention what to do with, so it uses the default. The reset just gets rid of all the defaults so that you are totally in control. We want to be in control. All right, so what? I don't know, some brown. H3. I don't know. A little smaller. I don't know. Color. If you have a plan on your page of what's what and what you want things to look like, that's helpful. It's been a little while since I worked on the page, so I don't quite remember what everything is. So for our links, I want to give it a background color. This is how you turn it into a button. You give it a background color. I'm going to give it a background color of this blue. And then I'm going to give it a font color of tan. I'm going to say text decoration none to get rid of the automatic line under it. Let's see what happens. Okay, you can see how there's a line under these links. That's the default, right? I want to get rid of that. So I put that text decoration none, and let's reload the page. It's looking better already. Okay, I want to turn these into buttons. So I'm going to tell you one extra trick here. So I labeled these like that. I didn't do anything to my lists. I just did the headings. And I just used these. Now, if I wanted to say, I wanted the ingredients, class ingredients, I would do it like that. You can put a comma and list multiple things. If I want the ingredients and steps to be the same, use a period with that. If I want the whole section of breads to be, the background color of green, if I wanted to do like that whole section something, I could select that whole thing. That's an option. Those are the ways you select, right? The HTML tags, classes, or IDs. Let me show you one trick for making buttons because they're useful. It's called padding. I'll just do a little generic padding. 20 pixels is the size of the padding. And that gives us this. And doesn't that look nice? And these little buttons you can click on to jump down the page, jump down to soups. Okay, so there's our basic CSS for now, and we can come back and work more on it, right? So I will see you next lesson, and we'll finish this up and get it online.